Welcome, everybody. We are live. I am trying a different setup tonight using StreamYard on my computer. So if things look a little bit different, that's okay. Well, I'm going to try learning some of these features. Cat and Jack, welcome so much. So check out this. These are I've done a couple previous live streams with StreamYard, but not recently. But check this out, right? So I can, as you make a message, then I can just post it right up on the screen. So if I'm talking about something or I'm just handling a comment or a question, make it easy for everyone to follow on as we are going. And I know I can also easily post comments down and reply to comments, which was something that was hard for me to do, doing it vertical on the phone. So I'll still use vertical phone sometimes. And I don't know how many hours I'm allowed to stream for free on StreamYard because I'm using a free plan, but I'm really excited to try to start using this technology a little bit more and to hopefully make everything and gradually make it a better experience. But please let me know how my audio is. I think my signal is going to be a little choppier here, but anyway, we're trying it out. We're seeing if everything at least kind of works. So let me know if you can hear me. Let me know how this works, if it was easy enough for you to find. So there's all sorts of fun gadgets and gizmos and personalization that we can do on here. So that's why I'm really excited about it. And awesome. Thank you so much. I'm trying to, good. So yeah, so I can quickly type replies into the chat as well. Or if there's like a link that comes up or if somebody wants to know something or direct link, it's really easy. So anyway, I'm very excited about the opportunity to do that. My beard's almost not red anymore. Yeah, it looks kind of. I was fiddling with the light because so normally, this is the direction I'm facing, and so my light is here, but I also have my light box for pictures. So it's yeah, it's gonna look and it's gonna feel a little bit different because the room is like shifted 90 degrees from what everybody is used to seeing. So we'll see. Hey, Too Evil, we've got a little setup tonight, so check this out, right? So you get to get your comments posted up on the screen, and I think it's really cool. So want to just keep making this experience better for everybody, and hopefully one day we can get a nice paid plan on StreamYard and get rid of some of the, you can see they have like their StreamYard branding at the top right. I can make that go away and replace it with my own logo. You haven't missed anything yet, Too Evil. I promise you. We've just been kind of just talking about the new features of just streaming with StreamYard here tonight. So we haven't gotten into any of the topic yet tonight, and I even just in trying to get everything ready. I don't even have a drink with me, so I'm gonna have to go and run and get that. But I've got something cool that I can try in a little bit. So there's just really cool things that I can do. So like I can just be like, you may have missed at the beginning, I had like a welcome screen on, right? So I had that. Or if I just want to like at the end of the stream, I can put like a thank you up, right? Or if I, yeah. So and I think I can create a whole bunch of custom things like this as well. So just really kind of excited, and it'll be a little bit slow. So you haven't, like I said, you haven't actually missed any of our topic tonight. Just kind of fiddling around with features. I've done a couple of streams using StreamYard, but not since I shifted to the nighttime stream. So um, this is just using a MacBook Pro. Yeah, I know. Thought you're the wrong place at the beginning. So we're just trying to slowly level up. You know, it's how do you level up on a $0 budget? Well, there's all sorts of free tools and different things out there, and probably, hopefully, in like 6 months or whatever, then I'll be a paid StreamYard member. And if you're looking to do a streaming service, I'll have affiliate links to StreamYard or something. So pay attention, StreamYard. We're coming. We're coming for some affiliate links eventually. So we've been kind of exploring the last couple of days and doing just some basic Ask Me Anythings about different side hustle things. So a couple nights ago, we talked about YouTube and some of the basics with that. And then last night we talked about selling on eBay, some of the basics with that. And tonight we're going to talk about Facebook Marketplace. Okay, so Facebook Marketplace kind of has this this hidden potential of unlocking money that you have tied up in things that are sitting around your house, and especially bigger, bulkier things. And so recently we were in the midst of a move from a permanent to a less than permanent location. And we were moving a bunch of stuff into a storage locker, but at the same time, we were wanting to get rid of a good chunk of things. So kind of from like November through March, I spent a good chunk of time selling a lot of different things on Facebook Marketplace. And so I think it's kind of intimidating for people to sometimes start the selling. And so let's see, I'm trying to figure out if I can do a poll. Can I do a poll in here? Let's see. No, that's not the right button. All right. Well, I'll just type it. It's not going to show up as a poll, I guess. But have you ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist? We'll add that too. It's not going to be a poll, but we'll show that up on the screen. So have you ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, or maybe even as a side thing, have you ever bought something off of those? And kind of what is your experience level with that? Is that something that you're comfortable doing? Is it something that you kind of not as much? And despite having sold on eBay for many years, when I first tried to start selling on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, there's kind of an intimidation factor that I faced, at least, of just trying to meet with people. You're trying to dodge scammers. It's a lot because it's so much between you and the customer. There's a lot more opportunities to make a mistake and get scammed. But I want to just give a couple of basic tips of things that I use and that I think are helpful if you're wanting to do that. So first of all, what is good to sell on Facebook Marketplace? Um, Here's what I think. I think big, bulky things that you wouldn't want to ship, things that have relatively high demand, okay, things that are in high demand within your network, within your area, local area, for sure. Um, I've had I've had a lot of trouble selling things that you might think sell quickly. Dishes, stuff like that. Those have been really hard sells. But things like bedroom sets, things like patio furniture, there seems to be pretty good market. Really, any sort of decent size thing. I've sold tents, I've sold cabanas, I've sold folding outdoor chairs, right? So kind of that bigger, bulkier stuff, the type of stuff that you would never really want to have to ship anywhere. So yeah, Cat and Jack bought and sold on Craigslist, some sketch situations for sure. Yeah, and it's a big thing. So there's there's multiple layers. I think that you have to peel back when you're talking about trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace and trying to sell on Craigslist or buy. I mean, it's kind of the same principle either way because there's sketchy people on both sides of the equation. So here's the first thing. First and foremost, when it comes to selling on all these platforms, is your safety first. You have to make sure that you are taking care of being safe, that you know what your you know kind of the culture of your town. You know where you're most comfortable meeting people, and so you've got to come up with a system and a strategy that works for you, where you're feeling safe if you're going to be selling on these platforms. Now, I don't want to discourage you from selling on these platforms, but I know everybody's going to have different tolerance depending on your experiences from the past, depending on your history, just kind of the nature, how reserved you are, all sorts of different things. But I have some solutions I think that'll even go along with that. So what am I looking to sell, and what are some of the best things to sell? Like I said, full bedroom sets we were able to liquidate relatively quickly. Mattresses, chairs, furniture, furniture, couches, even things that like a couch that was like partly broken, it didn't fully recline, only half of it reclined. Some of those types of things. Things that we had trouble getting rid of locally were like dishes and random one-offs and super cheap stuff that would be really well suited for a thrift store, was stuff that was really difficult to get rid of, because I think people were just like, you know what, even if it's nice, I could probably go to a thrift store and spend just about the same amount and do that. So that was kind of difficult. So let's just talk through just some basic strategies if you've never sold. And you can kind of, I'm going to talk from the seller's perspective because that's what this stream is about. But a lot of these things you can kind of just flip them backwards if you're looking to buy off these marketplaces, because there are opportunities to buy things for both personal use as well as to pick up things to flip, and either flip locally or flip online on other websites or whatever as well. But we're going to talk about it from the seller's perspective, and I'm going to start with the very simple, which is same thing we said last night. Start with what you already have. There are people who can do well if they've got the right skill set, the right sourcing to buy items to sell on Facebook Marketplace. But I think you have to be at least an intermediate reseller to really be able to do that significantly well, unless you're merely just picking up free things and then putting a price on them and trying to sell them. Okay, so that's the first thing. Just start with the stuff that you have around home. Start with the clutter. Start with the items that are clogging up your house and that you would like to liquidate and get the cash. So you can put the cash towards paying down debt or investing in a small business or building your emergency fund, whatever kind of financial need is at the forefront for you. That's kind of what we're looking to do here. Okay, so beyond a safe place, right? And so you got to know what that is for you. I can't define that. Some people will only meet at police stations. Around me, I feel pretty comfortable to having met people either at my house or at a storage locker where I know there's cameras and different things like that, and where I have kind of good control of the situation. I've been good with both of those situations, and depending on the thing, I've even actually helped deliver things. I helped deliver some furniture to like a 90-year-old man and his wife, and helped carry it up the stairs and stuff like that. They paid a little extra for that, but I was willing to do that because I felt safe, and I just, it was something that was good for me. So figure out what is safe for you, and you're going to set all of your selling around that. Now, then specifically, what are you looking to do? I think you need to price aggressively on Facebook Marketplace. In my mind, if you list something on Facebook Marketplace and you haven't sold it within a month, there's probably a major flaw in your listing. Either it's not described well enough, there's not good enough pictures to it, but most of the time, the price is just too high. And if you didn't know this, even on Facebook Marketplace, there's a place where you can look for similar items and you can actually filter by sold listings. Now, of course, you don't know the exact final price that it sold for because there may have been negotiations. But if you want to know, let's say you have okay, so I'm going to use an example of a listing I need to put up. We have a 32-inch Samsung TV that is just sitting in our storage locker right now that I need to get sold. So I could look up retail, and if you have no price comparisons, I generally suggest find out whatever the retail price is, cut it in half if it's in good condition, and then if there's any flaws or damage, cut it from there. So if it's a $100 item, I don't care if you just bought it from the store yesterday, and if you're trying to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, $50 is the most you should charge for that, because you're not going to have a return policy. There is a lack of trust. You are not Walmart, you are not Target. So half price, the bare minimum for something in really good condition. And then if there's any damage or anything, it's just going to go down from there. And I can't tell you the number of times I'd seen things like, especially you see this with like furniture sets down here. People buy a furniture set and they spend like $4,000, and they're like, we're moving next week, need it gone today, for sale, $3,500. It's only 2 months old. Like, what? No, you're not the furniture store. You're not warrantying this. There's no money back guarantee. There's no. and you're saying you need it gone by next week, if you're saying you need it gone by next week, you should be charging $1,500, $1,000. Most of the people who are trying to sell things on Facebook Marketplace, honestly, they're asking for Walmart prices or even eBay prices when you got to be thinking this is a step above a garage sale. Okay. This is a step above a garage sale. You're going to get a little bit of a premium because you can create a listing and you can sit on it for a few days, but you are talking this, you cannot overprice your items. So your items should be well pictured, well documented, to go along with the theme of everything we do here, right? Over describe it. Don't try to oversell your item and leave with someone who's disappointed. Be clear about all the flaws, like disclose anything and everything that you know is wrong with it. Be open with it up front and state like, yes, because of this, we've discounted the price or different things like that. But the price that you pick on Facebook Marketplace is so important, and it is one of the main reasons why a lot of people just can't move their stuff. They're priced too high. So if I'm trying to think of an example of something that what your price point might be, but let's just say we're dealing with a television, right? Let's say it's $100 retail television in the store. That's what you can buy it at Walmart today. Okay. Well, first of all, Walmart or Target, they can throw those TVs at 20% off anytime they want and without batting an eye. So if you paid 100 full price, there's someone out there who probably bought that TV brand new for $80 somewhere. Okay. If I'm looking to sell that still new, sealed in the box, something like that, on Facebook or on eBay or on Amazon, I'm probably asking that 80 to 100. On eBay, I'm asking like 60 to 80. If I'm trying to sell this on Facebook Marketplace and I want it gone in a day or two, I'm probably talking 40 to 60 is right about where you want to be for something like that, because there is no guarantee. They're going to want to open that box, to make sure that it's new and plug it in. And like, they're going to want to test those things. So it's not going to stay brand new anyway. So that's what you need to be thinking. And if it's not selling, I would be lowering it once a week. I'd be lowering your prices by 10 to 20%, because you don't want stuff sitting on Facebook Marketplace for a long time. Now, right now, I have some stuff sitting on Facebook Marketplace that is just there because I haven't had the time to do anything with it. But I can't honestly say I'm actively trying to sell that stuff at this exact moment when I'm not updating it, when I'm not lowering prices, when I'm not kind of renewing the listings that pushes them back to the top. Okay, so now the actual meetup. And this is one of the biggest tips that I learned that helped me sell so much on Facebook Marketplace without interrupting the rest of my lifestyle. And that is this. For items that are $20 or less, if you're in a safe enough place where you can just leave it outside your door and they can put the money under the doormat, it is 100% worth it to try that. Okay. A lot of the cheaper, smaller stuff that we sold that was in the $5 to $20 range was where we arranged it. We found out what time they were going, and I'll kind of go through the script that I go with a potential buyer here in a second for you. But we just arranged to say it's porch pickup. We'll have it out by the door, between the times of 2 and 4 p.m., whatever was the agreed upon time, and you just put the cash under the doormat. Okay. We did that probably about 30 times. I think of the 30 times, I think one time one person took without paying, and one time a person underpaid. Every other time they paid in full. Now, is there always a risk? Yeah. So I would not be doing this with high value items. But if you're looking to sell things like an old kid's baseball glove or a soccer ball, or just stuff that is probably on its way out the door anyway, it's probably on its way to Goodwill or to the dump, or you're going to be donating it, something like that. If it's on the way out of the house anyway, it's just simply not worth your time to try to arrange all these individual meetups for $5 if you can just say, look, it's going to be outside the door. And for the 5% of customers who are going to just stiff you and take it, it's still probably net worth it for all the other customers that will pay. Now, of course, you know your neighborhood. If your neighborhood is filled with porch pirates, then that's probably not going to be an option for you. But when we were trying to liquidate a bunch of stuff, it saved so much time. Sometimes we'd have 2 or 3 different items being picked up by 2 or 3 different people, and they'd just all be outside the door, and I'd just take a little picture, send everything, have a description for them. And it was so helpful to not have to spend my time that I might be out delivering or working on eBay listings or something else, or even creating more Facebook Marketplace listings, right? I don't have to do that if they're just coming to do a porch pickup. And then almost every time they would either send a text that they got it, or they would send a picture of the money under the doormat because they would think that I would believe that they actually paid or something like that. Once or twice, they actually ended up putting it somewhere else other than the doormat, but we were able to find it. But it was just a great way for anything like under $20 that you really don't have too much of an attachment with. If you've got a safe spot that you can put that, and the place we were selling it was perfect because they had to come to the main door, but the main door was the side door, and then there was like this cutout. So even from the road, you couldn't even see the stuff. So someone just walking by wouldn't even really be able to see there was something out unless they were really snooping around. So that's one of the tips that I would highly encourage you. Now, you also need to be willing to negotiate. Okay, you're not trying to get necessarily top dollar for everything, but don't double negotiate. Okay, so this is another tip. I'm gonna try this out here. Don't double negotiate. So let's see how this works, right? So we're gonna show this here. Don't double negotiate. And here's what I mean by double negotiating. Buyers are always trying to get a better deal, and the most veteran of buyers will try to negotiate on the front end before they meet you. So let's say you have an item for $50. They'll come and they'll look at the item and they'll say, "Hey, would you take 40 for this?" And then you agree. And then when they show up, they'll say, "Oh, well, I didn't realize there was this. I didn't realize there was this. Would you take 30? Would you take 20?" And so when I say don't double negotiate, you either negotiate on the front end or the back end, but not both, because those types of buyers are the ones that are trying to manipulate you, and they're going beyond looking for a great deal to really almost in the scammy side of things. So what I like to say is, I'll tell the buyer, I can accept this price, but I cannot go any lower, even if you see something you don't like about it in person. So I will accept the 40, but there is no flex beneath that. Even if you might be willing to take less from someone else, I won't take less from that person who I agreed to a price in the beginning, because that is a common tactic that buyers are going to use. They're going to double negotiate. They're going to try to get 20 to 30% off right up front. And then when they show up, they are going to find a flaw. And you know what? If you want to find a flaw in anything, you can find a flaw in anything. And so this is why it's really important to describe everything, because then when they point out the flaws, you can say, yeah, that was already in the listing that you agreed to this price. And so you have to be willing to walk away. So if I'm willing to negotiate a little bit in person or a little bit ahead of time, but not both. And so I kind of have like the one negotiation. And so once the price is agreed upon, um, you know, that's one of the things that I want to do. So yeah, it's super backwards, but I guarantee you there are lots of people who are doing this to make a business out of it. So if they can get 30% off up front and then another 30 to 50% off, there's a lot of people who don't know how to handle it, and I bet you it works a lot of the time. So stand firm on whatever you agree to. And that's also why it's important to give a good, full, complete description in the listing. Okay. Because if you don't, then you're opening yourself up for these tactics. There's no reason to try to oversell your product. In fact, you're much better trying to undersell it and find the person who just really wants it for the character that has in it. Yeah, awkward. Yeah, it's super awkward when someone does that. Yeah, and here's the thing is about half the people are just doing it to negotiate and get it for as cheap as possible, and the other half are really going to play hardball. And I find about half of them will walk away, and about the other half will stick with the agreed upon price and just say, "Look, I just can't go any lower. I got other people who are interested at it." And but again, this is why when you're already pricing near the realistic market price too, you have that sway because you can say, look, this is the cheapest of anybody on Facebook Marketplace right now. It's in equal conditions, cheapest. This is what they've been selling for locally. And so you can be firm. So I'm fine haggling. I'm fine building that in. But when you make the agreed upon price, it's agreed upon. And so sometimes you're going to have to be willing to walk away so you're not taken advantage of. Um, but then that's also where you need to know where your pain point is. If it's a furniture set and you're moving next week, you have not a lot of leverage compared to this is your salt and pepper shaker collection that just sits up top and you'd like to sell it, but you're not in any rush to sell it. So, um, yeah. So that's some of the basics because if you if you overprice it, you're just not going to get clicks. So you want to price properly. You want to disclose all the basic information, all the damage, all of the flaws, disclose all of that upfront. Okay. So that way you've kind of, when you do that, you take away the power of negotiation because you say, look, all this stuff has been disclosed. I'm not lying to you. I'm not hiding anything from you. Like this was all in the listing. I took up close pictures of it. I recommend if there's any reason to, because the item, putting the video, you can put up to a 60-second video in a Facebook Marketplace listing, put a video up, and you can even then talk and point out the exact flaws that are in it. And I would say a good half the people out there don't want to negotiate. They're not comfortable negotiating in the first place. So that's really good for you. And then the other half that likes to negotiate seems to do it very aggressively. There's very few people who are just like, you have it for 50, I'd like to pay 40. They show up, they pay you the 40, they walk away. It feels like either they pay the 50 or they're not going to be happy unless they get it for 20. And that's where you need to kind of take that stand on the in between for doing those sorts of things. So do that. Now, um, is it viable? Well, for some people, you could make a full-time living selling on Facebook Marketplace. But I think if you're going to do that, you definitely have to have a fairly decent storage area, organization. I don't think it's practical for most people to make it a full-time thing. However, I do think it is very reasonable to be able to sell a good chunk of extra household stuff. Think garage things. If it lives in your garage, those are some of the best things to sell. So if you've got extra tools are almost certainly going to sell right away if you market them and price them at the right price. Just think of the things that people are looking for in your market and see if you can fit that in between where they can get it today. So some of the other thing, I'll just try to list off some of the things that we sold very easily, very successfully. Folding tables, no problem selling. Um, Ladders, we had a couple of ladders, no problem selling them. Sometimes you gotta figure out exactly what the right price point is, but again, you do that research of solds. So extra tools, no problem selling. Workbenches, no problem selling. A lot of that stuff was just gone. We had a lot of things that would sell like within a day. We had a chest freezer we sold, no problem selling. Like all of those sorts of things were able to go. Bedroom sets were relatively easy to get rid of. Living room furniture. Now, again, we asked appropriate prices. So if you're trying to get $3,500 for your $4,000 living room set that's 10 years old, it's going to sit. But if you're trying to get $1,000 for your $4,000 living room set that's 6 months old, you're probably not going to have too much of a problem because that's a good enough deal. So as you're doing all these things, that's kind of some of the basics of what you can be looking for. Like I said, some of the things that were harder for us to sell. And again, your market may vary because that's always all this stuff is kind of market dependent. But dishes were kind of difficult. Extra kitchen things like small kitchen appliances. It's just kind of that stuff is a dime a dozen, and people tend to be not trusting about things that's going to touch their food, right? They're just much more likely to say, you know what, I'm just going to go and get a new toaster. I can buy a brand new toaster for $15 from the store. Why am I going to risk buying a used toaster for $5? It's just for a lot of people. It's just kind of that food thing is a tough thing. I you know so the biggest thing is just be very price conscious. Don't overcharge. Don't think of your stuff as great. Think of it as one step higher than a garage sale. It's going to be steps below eBay. It's going to be steps below Walmart, Target, Amazon pricing. It's going to be kind of below those things. So that's kind of the basics. I'm not like the expert, but when I realized that I was kind of intimidated more over the unknown than over the actual process of selling, figured that's something that I could bring to you guys, because maybe you can find 10 or 15 things that are cluttering up your house, and you can get 10 to 20 bucks for those. It's an extra $200 to $300 in your pocket that, again, you're either using to pay down your debt, set up your emergency fund, start funding one of these other side hustles, building into your YouTube channel, or building into an eBay store, different things like that. So we talked about, if you want to get into like flipping products on eBay, but you don't have cash to start with, we suggested last night you start with cash tips from, food delivery, gig delivery work. But this would be another way that you could probably quickly get a couple $100s that you could start then using. And it's pretty risk free, right? Like, it was just stuff that was sitting around collecting dust. So you get rid of the stuff, you get a little more space. And now, even if you spend that $200 on 20 $10 items and half of them fail, and the other half you just kind of break even, you still have a good amount of seed money to go towards the things that are happening with that. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try a new little feature here, really, really quick. And then I'll come and answer questions. So I'm gonna try something out really quick. I'm gonna be right back. Let me just see how this all works. All right, we're back. How did that work? Did that actually kind of look somewhat decent on the other side? So um, that just trying out these features. So what are you drinking tonight? I am back again with the blue Gatorade tonight. So we're that's what I'm going with. So let's just talk about a little thing. The sketchiness. Trust your gut, right? I'm a big fan of trusting your gut instinct with any of this stuff. Um, Anything regarding Cash App, Venmo, any of those things, 100% your guard should be up. Don't trust any of that. Drinking coffee tonight. You're most nights you drink coffee, right? I'm not. I do coffee in the morning. It's not that I think coffee keeps me awake. I just don't kind of crave coffee in the evenings. In the evenings, I'm usually just craving like either water or sugary goodness. But I do usually I do my coffee in the morning. So yeah, there's lots of scams. Probably at some point, like, my goal is to make all these videos of the things that we're discussing and talking about here in the live stream. I also want to do it. You need coffee to go to bed. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard that before. So, but hey, and you know what works. I need coffee to get out of bed. That's what I need coffee for. So, yeah. So anyway, just in general, trust your gut. Anything that doesn't seem right. anything that just doesn't work, you can pull the plug on it. And I've done that with things, even though nothing went wrong, there were just times where it's like, look, this is just weird. And almost all of the transactions that were good transactions were easy transactions. As soon as you start getting grilled about all sorts of questions, you start hearing about friends or neighbors or cousins that need to come pick it up for them and they can't do it. Cash only. Just stick with the basics. So what I wanted to do, it's been a little while since I brought this up, but I want to just show, I don't know how well, I'll just read it to you because I don't think, I can show things off my phone here. Let's see, can you read that? Let's see. Everything's like reverse here. Okay, so I have some notes saved for Facebook Marketplace on my phone. This is like one of them that I'll do. Price firm, cash only, exact change only, no holds, first come, first serve, must haul same day, no deliveries, contact for meeting time, location. So that's like something that I will have in each and every one of my Facebook Marketplace listings. I'll have like disclaimers like that. And so if you're going to be selling more than one or two things, I definitely recommend you type up some basics that you just have in your phone on a regular basis. Here's let's see, I gotta delete one little thing off of this. So these are the types of things that once you get that communication, and then I'll answer the is this available question because that comes up all the time. So here, this is another thing that I have here that shows no holds, price firm, first come, first serve, porch pickup, all sales final, location be sent once meeting time is agreed upon, cash only, and then just some of the other things. I won't hold this all up to the phone, but things that I have in listings or different things. Any questions regarding phone number or texting will be instantly blocked. All communication must be through Facebook. And so then you get this question because it's the automatic question that gets sent out on Facebook Marketplace, which is this available? And this is one of the areas I think a lot of people drop the ball, because you'll even see in listings, will not respond to is this available? Can I tell you that probably 2/3 of my sales come from responding to is this available? Okay, if you don't respond to is this available messages, you're crazy that you're giving up that many sales opportunities. Now, granted, you might get 100 of them, and there may only be 10 or 12 that actually pan out as actual sales. But if you don't respond to any of those 100, that's 12 sales that you end up losing. So if they send that message, I immediately follow up, and ideally you want to respond within the first minute that you get the message, because the longer that message sits there, the less likely they're ever going to see the response. But I will immediately respond with, yes, when are you available to pick up? And then I give a crossroads that is close to where I am. Okay, so it's not an exact address location, but just say, when are you available to pick up? We are near this road and this road in Naples, right? And so we don't live there anymore, so I can say, so I would say back where we lived our last place, we're near Radio and Santa Barbara in Naples. And by doing that, first of all, it filters out anybody who's far away from where we are. So if occasionally people from Miami or Tampa Bay or St. Petersburg get onto one of your listings, like, oh, sorry, I'm like 2 hours away, never mind. Okay, so you filter a bunch of people out that way, but then you're also doing a call to action right away. Okay, and then whenever you agree on it, I never start any communication about where we are, where the pickup point is, until they have set a meeting time that works for them. And I will hold them accountable to that. And depending on how it goes, if they miss the meeting time, they might get a second chance. They'll never get a third chance. And I will always mark them. You can rate buyers on Facebook Marketplace, and I will always rate them as did not show up, because I don't want them wasting anybody else's time or whatever. But once we agree on a place, then I'll say, okay, this is the time. And if it's not the same day, I will follow up with, I will reconfirm and send you the address the morning of pickup. because they don't need to know the address until the day of pickup and until they confirm that they're coming. And then once they confirm that they're coming and I've sent the address, if they don't show unless they immediately or slightly ahead of time are like, hey, sorry, I got caught up at work, I can either come later tonight or I can come first thing tomorrow. If it's something like that, then usually I'll work with them. But if they just ghost, then I will report, I end the conversation, I close it all off, no matter how promising anything else was. Okay. And then if it's the porch pickup, okay, this is one of my notes. I'll say, we'll have it outside our side door. You can leave the money under the doormat. And I'll specify how much money again there, whatever the agreed upon price was. So I don't just say money because that's how I learned. That's how get messed up. So I'll reconfirm and say, I will have that out by the side door. Please leave the $15 under the doormat. Or sometimes if I do need to meet them in person, I'll just say, yep, we'll be here. Please knock on the side door. Please ring the doorbell when you arrive. In doing that. So that's kind of some of the basics of some of the things that we would do. So, so a couple other questions here. So I posted a poll question today of what would you do if you received a $10,000 tax-free gift, right? So you didn't have any taxes found. It's just a true $10,000, okay? Or you're cleaning out your house and you found $10,000 in the safe that you forgot about. So what would you do with that $10,000? We had a variety of things, but I would probably do a mix. It would be about a 50-50 mix of the options that I had on there. About half of it I would use to be paying off debt because I could knock out 2 or 3 small credit cards with that. I have debt of a variety of amounts on a variety of different credit cards, but I could knock out a couple of small credit cards with that. But then I would also take a chunk of that to really get my Amazon store up and running, hopefully pretty close to full time again. So that's what I would do if I were given just a random $10,000. So that was my poll question that I put up on the YouTube community tab earlier today. So that's kind of the basics for that. So if anybody else has any other Facebook Marketplace questions or anything, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm going to just give a quick little channel update here on a few things, and I'm going to try this here. I'm going to try going back and forth and hopefully not make this. I don't want to have any videos like auto playing here, but I think it's pretty cool that I can do this. So let's go to your videos. So channel update. I did post a long form video today for the first time in a while. So let's see, get shareable link. And it is similar to what we did a couple nights ago, but I made it in a kind of more formalized long form video. So I'm going to throw that down in the comments below if you haven't seen that yet. It is accelerate your YouTube channel growth with these 5 tips. So it's the 5 T's plus the bonus T that we talked about 2 nights ago here in the live stream, but I kind of made it into a long form video as well, which was kind of one of my goals to do that. I also have a new video series scheduled to start Sunday morning. So I've done a couple of like spiritual, Bible, Christian, gig worker, and entrepreneur videos in the past. I'm starting a new little series on the book of James from the Bible, and that's going to go live every Sunday morning. So I didn't get them all filmed today, but I got the next 5 Sundays. So those will be coming out Sunday morning. So if you have church and you're getting ready for church Sunday morning, you can watch those when you get ready. Or if you don't have a church and you just want at least something Bible to listen to on Sunday mornings, we're gonna do that. Just doing like a walkthrough. The book of James, looking at it in the applications of serve, learn, grow, adapt. So we're gonna have like four little points. So that is coming out. So we have the where to begin, doing that. Yeah, so the book of James, Here's the synopsis of the whole book of James, and then we're just going to kind of break it down a few verses at a time. The book of James was a letter that was written by James, the brother of Jesus, to a group of early believers who were on the run because they were being persecuted for their faith in Jesus. And so they were undergoing a lot of trials and trying to figure out how do they keep their integrity, and how do they live the life that they say they believe when they're kind of on the run for their lives, and what does it look like, and what attitudes do you need to have, and different things like that. So the book of James starts out with a challenge that seems kind of very countercultural. James starts out with consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds. And so we're going to start talking about that on Sunday, and we're going to just do just a couple verses every week. And so I know there's been a fair amount of interest on this channel over the last couple weeks about doing prayer times and some Bible study times. And I don't want to bog down every single video with spiritual applications, because there's just certain things that aren't. There's not really a way to do Christian Facebook Marketplace, right? It's just Facebook Marketplace. I don't need to do, other than the practical sense of like writing good descriptions and not lying about what you're selling, and just some basic things. But I think those are decency things that go even just beyond the spiritual side, just being a good person. So that's going to be kind of a good opportunity for anybody who wants to dig into kind of the spiritual side and how do you live for Jesus while you're growing your own business. That's going to be a Sunday morning thing. And so that should be pretty easy, I think, for me to be able to keep up with. I edited this first one a little bit by like putting the verses on the screen and stuff like that, which ended up taking longer than what I had planned. So I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that or not, but we'll see. So we have that. I did put up a little short today about Halloween decorations showing up at Costco already. My local Costco has Halloween decorations out in June. And at this point, let's just skip right to Christmas, I guess, because Christmas is less than 6 months away. So the countdown is on for that. Anyway, so we have that. So the new YouTube video. The next video that I want to work on long form is the next video in the Rating Climb series. I may just put all of the rest of the Rating Climb into one video, even if it's longer, just because I need the space on my phone and on my computer. It's getting bogged down with too many video clips, and I really need to just get that done. But I don't know. I don't know when that's going to be. Tomorrow we're doing a family funcation day. So we got the brakes on the car fixed today. So we're going to do a family beach day in the morning, and then go out to dinner for like the first time as a family in like well over a year, to like go out to like a nice sit down place. And so it's kind of like our summer celebration day. But I will still be live tomorrow because the kids will be all home and everything by 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So we'll have that. So that will wrap things up for the week for our live streams. So for those of you who are new to this, whether live or watching on replay, we try to go live Sunday through Thursday night, 10 p.m. to roughly 11 p.m. Eastern time. So, and then tomorrow we're going to just talk about the same concept of what we've been doing the last few days. We're just going to talk about food delivery tomorrow. So best practices. If you want to get into doing gig delivery work, which I know that's where a lot of people on this channel kind of started with. So we've kind of taken time to look at YouTube, taken time to look at eBay, Facebook Marketplace. We're going to just talk about gig delivery tomorrow to kind of wrap up our week. And I always kind of like to refocus on that on Thursday nights, going into a weekend of delivery, and just really make sure I've got a plan going into the weekend. Hey, going kayaking tomorrow. Awesome. Down here, when you go kayaking, make sure you don't get eaten by alligators down in the rivers down this way. But hope you have a fun day, because we're going to do a beach day and go out to eat. And just kind of, we already prepped the food to take with us to the beach in the morning, bought a couple of fun treats that we don't normally buy. So got all that ready to go. We're going to try to be out the door pretty early before it gets super hot. So that's what we have going. So we'll have one more live stream, and let me know again, live or replay, if you kind of like the format of it being on StreamYard. There's definitely, I don't know how to do polls on here, though I suppose I could probably have a separate, I could probably have the YouTube stream open and paused in the background. So here, hold on, I'm going to try this really quick, and hopefully I will not get myself into a feedback loop here. So let's see if I do this. I want to really not mess this up. Let's see. No, that's not what I want to do. What is this? I think I could just click on that. No. Oh, there's the video link. Okay, hold on. I don't want to get into a feedback loop here. Trying, learning something new. Okay. So can I go here? I'm trying to figure out if there's an easy way, because I knew how to do a poll on the other, but I'm not showing a way to do a poll on here. So, oh wait, hold on. Can I do this? Here. Did you like the new StreamYard style live stream? Yes. No. All right. Hey, Eli, welcome. we're wrapping up. Don't worry about it. Like we're always, so let me know if that poll showed up. I don't know if it actually showed up. I tried to do that. So I'm using StreamYard tonight. So we've kind of been fiddling with some new technology things. So you missed some cool stuff that I can do like this now. And put a be right back or a welcome or a thank you. So some kind of some cool stuff that I can do. We actually had a countdown at the very beginning. So you missed that. So like that's the experience that you missed out on a little bit. Okay, you voted, so it did show up. So like I said, I'm still kind of, oh, there, I see it now. It shows at the top. 100% yes. 100% yes. Like all right, that's all I needed to know. So it's weird though, because the poll itself doesn't show up in StreamYard for me to follow along. Hey, Tommy Thunder, how's it going tonight? So everybody's coming in late. So here's what we talked about. Here's the synopsis for those, everybody. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're using StreamYard tonight. And so we just talked about Facebook Marketplace, some practical tips of how to do it safely, how not to negotiate against yourself. Like it's okay to negotiate on price, but don't double negotiate. And yeah, no, you're good. You're good that you're watching a movie. Don't worry about it. So I'm just kind of filling you in on a little bit of what you missed. You can always rewind the stream too. So hey, you got girlfriend time. Enjoy your girlfriend time for sure. Not doing that. Blue Gatorade for that part. That's what I'm drinking again tonight. Y'all got me hooked on Blue Gatorade. No, I have not seen Interstellar. I actually haven't seen many movies at all in the last 10 years. And when I do watch movies, I have like 3 or 4 like favorite movies that I just watch over. So like I'm a huge sucker for Pirates of the Caribbean and the Lord of the Rings movies. And so I that's kind of where I watch. But I probably couldn't even tell you any of the top movies from like the last 5 years. Like I have heard of Interstellar, but I haven't seen it. So doing that. Oh, by the way, here we can put this up. See, so this is some of the things. So you can answer down in the chat below too. Have you seen Interstellar? And I'm doing that, so you can comment this so you can see your comments. This is the cool stuff that I can do doing this. And from Tommy Thunder here too, hit that like button for sure. Smash that like button. So just some really, really cool stuff that we can do with StreamYard. So we're going to kind of fiddle around with it over the next couple things. We did not get, see, I don't think we get the scrolling trolls, right? So you get the group of people who kind of like scroll through random live streams. And so this kind of maybe limits that, which I don't know if that's good or bad, because we have picked up new viewers who will swipe up on the vertical live streams when they come across, and then some end up hanging out with us. So I don't know if we'll do this every single time. But anyway, we like some of this. I don't want to cry. It's the saddest we've ever seen. Oh, well, not sure. You're not really selling me on wanting to see the movie. So that's I guess the solace is that it's it's just a movie, right? So it can be sad, but it's it's just a movie. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not really. I don't need to cry anymore from movies. But like I remember there were times like during Lord of the Rings that I'll tear up too. So there's, I guess it's, you know, everybody's got the types of movies they like to watch and what works for them. But anyway, we missed you tonight. We're glad that you came and hung out with us at the end, and hopefully I won't make you cry. That's my goal, not to make you cry for the live stream. But anyway, if you are interested at all in learning some basics about selling on Facebook Marketplace, feel free to kind of either skip back to the beginning and you can kind of rewatch all of that, or it will repost. We just finished up the channel thing, the channel update. So I do have a Sunday morning Bible study going up this week. We're going to start a little Bible study through the book of James on Sunday mornings. So I posted video 1 in that series. That'll go live Sunday morning. And then I did post the YouTube basics with that. So we're going to end that poll because we have that. So anyway, that's kind of the basics, but appreciate everybody for tuning in, whether it's just a few minutes, the whole stream, live or on replay. Every single one of you, we appreciate so much. Our watch hours, by the way, in case you did not see the thumbnail, I want to pull it up so I have it right. So let's see, what do we got here? We have, what's our number? 1375, 1,375 watch hours left of the 3,000 that we need. So we're slowly working our way down. Yes, so I am streaming tomorrow, Eli. Yeah, I'll put this up for everybody. I am streaming tomorrow. We're doing a family funcation day. We're doing a family beach day, and then we're going out to eat for dinner tomorrow night. But I will be back because the kids will be toast long before 10 o'clock. So I will be doing that, and we will be live at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. That will be our last one. And we're going to talk about just an Ask Me Anything about food delivery. You know, Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, kind of going back to some of our roots where some of our first videos started, and just some of the basic tips that we have for those of you who are in it and wanting to improve, or maybe you're looking to get a little extra side hustle money. I still think if you're not comfortable selling stuff, I still think one of the best ways to get a little extra cash to start investing in a business, or if you want to start stock investing, or just to slowly pay off some debt by getting a little extra income, still think food delivery is one of the best things. It's really getting tough to do food delivery full time because they just keep cracking down on how much you can earn. But I still think it's a great way. I went out tonight for like 2.5 hours and made $50. You know, if you're not looking for adding another full-time job on your resume, there aren't many opportunities where you can just work whenever you want and make $50 in 2 to 3 hours on a pretty consistent basis. And I think as long as you work to learn your market, I still think it's a great opportunity. Kat and Jack, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Farewell to you. We're going to close in prayer. And then anybody, if you just before I end the stream, make sure you get back to the beginning, and you can still replay from the beginning before it repost or whatever. I think it'll stay up for you as long as you stay within the stream. So, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for tonight. We just pray that you would help us to become detached from our possessions more and more, and anything that might be holding us back from our financial goals and really our life mission and the money that we need to accomplish that. And so we just pray that whether Facebook Marketplace is the right place for each individual person to sell, we just pray that you would help us to find ways to just continue to detach from our possessions, look for more opportunities to serve other people, and to free up money to free us from debt and to fund the mission that you have given each of us. We thank you for each and every person hanging out with us here tonight. And we just pray that we have a good night until we come back together again. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow night.